Hi, everybody. It's Don Crowther. Let's talk about the price value disconnect and how it can absolutely kill your sales. So let me give you an example of this. Let's say that you sell a product on how to make money. And when people, and you're going to show people the methods to be able to make $100,000 a year. And then you price that at $90,000. What happens? Clearly there's a disconnect there, right? You're going to charge me $90,000 to give me some possibility of making $100,000. I realize there is a risk that I may not be able to get to that $100,000, and so $90,000 is way too high. Let's take the opposite end of this. You charge them $49. That price disconnect works almost as badly as the first one. Because people say, why in the world would this person teach me something that's going to earn me $100,000 and only charge me $50 for it? So let me tell you a quick story about how I discovered this. I had created a product. It was a good product. It probably, if someone instituted it, they could probably make $50,000 to $100,000 a year. At the time, I wasn't feeling very confident about myself. And so I said, okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put this at $197. Went out, I did a webinar on it. I sold like 3 copies. I was like, what in the world's wrong? This is an amazing product. This thing will literally put $50,000 to $100,000 on people's bottom line. What is wrong here? And so a week later, I did a webinar, exact same webinar, mailed to my same list. This time I charged $497. And all of a sudden, like 37 people bought. Exact same product. The only difference was I charged $497 instead of $197. And I got a whole bunch more sales. Now, I should have done another webinar a week later and charged $997, but I felt like I was starting to push it right then. As I said, I was already suffering from not feeling very good about myself right at that particular moment. And so, but that right there is a major solution to the pricing gap. Is forget about how you feel about yourself, about how confident you are, about how you feel like, well, more people will buy if I make it less, and I just am not sure, so I'm going to charge less. Okay, so how do you figure out what price to charge? That's the real question, right? I'm not telling you anything new so far. How do you figure out what to charge? Here's what I like to do. I like to go figure out, number one, if people bought this product, fully instituted it, what kind of value would it bring into their life? Now, some cases, like a make money thing, it can be how much money are they going to make. If it's a therapy thing, it's how much are they going to save in the next 3 years on therapy. If it's something like a relationship thing, okay, it's how much would it be worth it to you to have this change happen in your life? And start putting numbers around those things and actually write them down on a piece of paper. And it's like, this is how much I think they'll make. This is how much I think the value will bring to them. You put all those down. That's one data point there, is those multiple different prices. The second thing to do is to go research others in your marketplace who are at the level that people are buying at, and see what they're charging. This does not include Teachable and lynda.com and things where you can buy courses for $29 that teach you how to make $1 million. That's not in that data set. You're looking for the people who are actually doing like real live product launches, which means you may have trouble finding out how much it's going to cost because the product may only be available for a week, a year. But you want to see what people who are actually delivering these major transformations to people's lives, what they're charging. My guess in many cases, you're going to find that those prices are going to be around $2,000. Why? As Steve Olsher said on a webinar I was on today, he said, because that's what sells. We have established a price point in the online training market that a highly valuable program where you're actually going to transform and change someone's life, that price is either going to be $19.97 or $9.97. If you're not really going to change your life and you're just like experimenting around and things like that, then go ahead and charge some lower amount. But if you really, really want to have an impact and change people's lives, that price point is very likely in the $1,000 to $2,000 range. If you get over $2,000, it's tough to make sales where somebody is going to put something, type it in on a website and actually have their credit card hit. Oftentimes you can still make those sales, but you're going to have a personal conversation to be able to do that. But this $1,000 to $2,000 is a sweet spot. And just so that you know, between $1,000 and $2,000, there are only 3 price points. There's $9.97, there's $14.97, and there's $19.97. Do not charge $12.97, $17.97, $1,642, $1,203. All those price points are just leaving money on the table. 3 price points only. $9.97, $14.97, $19.97. Those are your 3 price points within that price range that meet the criteria of good price points. As such, some other time we'll have a conversation about why that is the case. But trust me, it is the case. It totally works. Okay. So number 1, what value will people get by having this transformation happen in their life? Number 2, what are serious players in the marketplace? What are they charging? Now, I will step back and give you one caveat. If you're in the personal improvement space, be very, very careful doing what I just said in regards to the personal improvement space. The personal improvement space, meditation, productivity, relationships, mindset, all those kinds of products, people have a rough time paying a lot of money for them. And what you'll find is that there are a few outliers who are sitting in the $1,000 to $2,000 range, and everyone else is at the $47 to $197 range. My strong recommendation is, number 1, I wouldn't go into that market. It's not profitable enough to be there. But number 2, if you are going to be in that market, price it $1,000 to $2,000, and then make your product worth it. And make your marketing worth it so that you can bring in those sales. You just heard a very, very biased conversation about pricing. I recommend those high prices because that's where real money can be made. That's where you can build yourself a real live business that can continue, that can support you and your family, and without having to have a side job bagging groceries, and that gives you something that you can potentially sell at some point in the future, and that gives you something that maybe you could even will to your kids. So there you go. Some thoughts about pricing. You do what's right for you. But one of the reasons why I bring that up is because we have decades, more than a decade, 2 decades now, of proof that those price points work in selling training online. This is Don Crowther saying, just go do this stuff.